we have a lot of different hardware and different vape devices. How's the best way to store them?
So the preferred method of storing your vape cart is going to be upright. You want to keep your cart upright as much as possible. That'll help avoid your air pocket bubble from getting into your aperture holes and causing any issues with your vapes later.
Is there any temperature or other effects that we might need to take into consideration?
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to avoid hot temperatures. Absolutely. They can degrade your oil. They can cause your cartridges to leak. You want to avoid sunlight. Keep it in a cool, dry, dark place would be the best thing, just like any of your other pharmaceutical drugs.
So what he's saying is, don't leave it in your car if you can avoid it. Another thing, if you're leaving it in the car, you're going to change the viscosity and it might leak into your core, and that will give you challenges. Same thing on that note is, if you have a all-in-one or a battery attached to your cart with a button, make sure you turn it off so that you don't vaporize in your pocket, because that's never the way to vape.
Yeah, I've had a few experiences of my vape going off my pocket, losing oil. It's never a fun time.
Yeah.
All right, Isaac, let's talk about power, the juice.
The juice. All right. There's tons of options, everybody. We have multiple adjustable voltage batteries. We have single voltage 510 threaded charging batteries. We have micro USB batteries. We have pods that are rechargeable all-in-ones, right? We have hand palm batteries. There's going to be a ton of different batteries out there, and the batteries all come with a pamphlet. Most people throw it away. I would suggest reading that so you know the voltage of the battery that you're actually going to be using with your oil, because that is important depending on the type of oil that you're using. Distillates, you can rip hot and you can do blinkers all day long.
Oh yeah.
But with something that's a higher end oil like a rosin, I would suggest always starting on the lowest setting, sipping on it to see how big your hit is, and then move on from there. If you need to go to a higher setting, some of the carts need a certain battery. If you're using a ceramic cart, you definitely need to be using your lowest setting. The way that ceramic heats is different from metal, and you don't want to go above your 2.8 volt setting.
Which is why it's very important to read that pamphlet, because you want to find out which heat setting you're on. If you're on low, how many volts that is. If you're on high, how many volts that is. The temperature setting is going to affect the how big of your cloud vapor that you blow out. Hotter will give you a bigger cloud. Lower will give you, your more average cloud.
Yep. A lower setting will also give you a better taste profile, right? You're not burning your oil, and you'll get more of that terpene flavor that people are looking for. So that's a lot about batteries. What's the most important part about the battery?
Most important part, don't forget to charge your battery before you leave the house.
That's true.
It doesn't always determine what. Let me try that over. Sorry. I'm just pausing there for a second in case they want to use any of that.
Now on to the fun stuff. We're gonna teach you guys how to use your different vape device that you selected. So you've got your vape cartridge or your all-in-one, right? And you have your oil of your preference. In this case, we got some CDT, so it's a full spectrum. We're going to make sure that it's securely inserted onto your battery, right? So that you have a good connection. And then we want to turn on our battery. So there's different clicks for different types of batteries, right? For this one, it's 5 clicks, and it will blink, and then it turns on. At that point, you can adjust the voltage on the battery itself. I'm going to go to the low setting just because I want to experience the terps, and we're going to take a 3 to 5 second long hit on this battery. I will blinker out if I do a 5 second hit. Let's see what happens.
Nice. That's good rule of thumb with these vapes. It's just a start low, go slow. You don't need to rip it fully to the extreme right away. You can achieve what you're looking for with a lower hit.
Yeah, and what I like to do is just normally just hit the button for a second to let it warm up and then take the draw. That seems to work well for me.
Yep.
And yeah, it works great. Let's talk troubleshooting. One of the biggest things that you need to know about are clogs. You're always going to get a small clog here and there, right? So there's different types of clogs, and normally whenever you get a clog, you can pull right through it. So warm up your battery and begin to pull, and you should pull right through that clog.
Also, when attaching your cart, you're going to make sure that you have good battery contact when screwing in your cart. Some of these various types of batteries will flash a different color or a different variation of flashes to indicate that the cart is not connected properly. So you just want to make sure you got a good snug fit before you start hitting.
Yep. And once your battery is connected properly, make sure that your battery is charged. We've already gone over that. You want to make sure that the battery is on the right setting because that will prevent additional clogging. And then make sure you don't put it in your pocket while it's on.
We did touch base on this before. Another very key thing, don't leave it in your car. The heat from the car destroys your vape carts.
The last thing that we need to talk about are blinkers. So what is a blinker? A blinker is when you start to hit certain batteries and you hold it too long, it will give you a blink at 5 seconds to say that you've had enough of a hit. You don't want to do back-to-back blinkers. That warms up the oil too much and it will actually clog your device as well. Thank you guys for joining us today. Hopefully you learned something. Have a great day.
Cheers.